I got this going. All right, all right. Hey, well, what's up, Warrior? Welcome back to Warrior Wisdom. I hope you're doing amazing. Throw in the chat to the 1 to 10 scale. How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? We're doing this. This is Wednesday. This is hump day. It's a good day. This is the day that I love to just be able to end the week strong and like have that second juice that comes in. I know. But I had a message that I want to share with you guys today because our goal in Warrior Wisdom is there's tactics, there's skills, there's all that. So master those. But we need the philosophies to drive long-term success. Warrior Wisdom is all about becoming the person that you were designed to be so you can have the things that you actually want to be able to have, right? Who here's heard of the saying, be, do, have, right? If we want to have more, we have to do more. If we have to do more, we have to become more. So this is a lot about doing with the being of it. And one thing that's important is this, and it's something that I've struggled with a lot, is who here's ever struggled with passive aggressiveness before? Passive aggression, or you've been around it before. All right. When I got started my business, I don't know why I thought this way, but I did, which was I just thought that my mentors knew what was happening in my life. And I remember that I felt there were times when they weren't listening to me, they weren't looking after my needs, like they didn't know what was going on with my life, they weren't reaching out to me. And I'm like, why are they not talking to me? And all of a sudden, I had conversations where I remember I had a chance to talk to my mentor, and he gave me this big nugget. We were in a conversation, and it was like something that changed the game for me. And I asked him this question at the very end. I'm like, why did you never tell me this before? His answer, you never asked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how many times have we not gotten what we wanted just because we didn't ask? And it's so important that warriors over communicate. Warriors over communicate. Type that in the chat. Over communicate. We're in a life, we're in a business that if you want something, go get it. Right. And it's something that I had to really train myself out of because I had this perception that everyone was kind of just like supposed to tend to me. But warriors, but leaders, you ask for what you want. And let's just think about an actual war. It's so important that we understand this because the lack of communication is probably one of the biggest things that kills teams, that kills relationships. Who here's ever had that happen in your own personal relationship? You had that cold shoulder treatment going on. You were not communicating, and it's like a little problem festers to become something huge. Absolutely, ask and you shall receive. The asking comes first, the receiving comes secondary. And it's so important as we continue to grow as leaders, as warriors. But think about if you're in an actual war situation. Think about you got your guns going out, you're going into battle, you're doing your thing. And imagine we did not actually communicate with your fellow warriors and you're trying to win the battle, right? Let's say you got shot and you're like bleeding and you don't tell anyone. And you're like, I just know the medic's going to know that I got shot. My partners are going to know that I'm in pain right now. And can you imagine you're sitting there, you're twiddling your thumbs, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. And then you're like, why did no one come? You never asked. So one thing that I want to challenge us to do is this is in our business, in our relationships, are we over communicating? Are we taking responsibility for our end? While I think we would all love for everyone to have a crystal ball, my mentors would always say this, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going on. Who here wishes in your relationships that your partner would have a crystal ball, for example, right? I wish I knew what was going on in my wife's mind all the time, but I don't. And while I would love to have others communicate to me more, one thing that I've realized is this, is that if I'm expecting others to do that, I should expect myself to be the one to start conversations. So think about, are there conversations that need to be had with your prospects? You're waiting on them. You're waiting for them to say, I'm ready to buy, I'm ready to join. What if we just reach out to them? Be like, hey, I know we're talking about XYZ. Were you still interested? To take initiative in those conversations, right? Let's say you have a partner that's not doing something that you would love for them to do. Are we taking initiative to over communicate to them the value of why to do things? So many times, yeah, assumptions are deadly. Guesses are deadly. Like we just don't know what's actually going on. And more often than not, this is what I've realized, people don't know what's happening. We have no idea. They have no, most of the time, intentions are not bad. It's not that people are ignoring us. It's just that they're busy. Who here would agree that you're a very busy person? You got stuff going on. You got 1,000 things going on in your mind. And what happens is we so many times, because we're on our own space, we think that all of our concerns, all of our worries are the number one priority of the people that are around us. The reality is this: we're people. And the number one thing that all of us care about is us, right? Like we're all naturally selfish. Let's just be real, right? Myself included. So if we want to make what we want to be a priority for someone else, we have to be willing to communicate. And when I learn how to do this, when I learn how to just have crucial conversations, when I learn just how to like ask, and there's no like emotion to it, it's just ask for what I want, to follow up, even with my mentors, with my coaches. There's so many times I've had to follow up on the same thing that someone is committed to doing to help me, but I have to be the one to be able to communicate. Okay. There's a saying that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Now, it doesn't mean that you should be annoying with things. I think we should be respectful. I think you should be upfront. But I go in, and let me just give this tip with things, is that I assume that people just forgot. I assume that things are just busy. I assume that if there's no response or if they don't know what's going on, they just don't know. And then I just go in with that benefit of doubt in mind, and then I communicate that. So I love what Angie just said. Assume. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. That is how it's spelled. Ass, you, me. True statement. It's absolutely true. But if you want to move fast in your business, you want to move fast in your goals, you want to move fast in your life, if you start to over communicate and you start to ask for what it is that you need, you're more bold about things. You're more upfront about things, but you're classy with it, right? You're professional with it. You're not naggy. You're not annoying, but you're upfront and you're professional. Be the person that you would want. Be the person that others would want to actually communicate with more. Be that person where they're like, I would love for them to ask a question again. And if you do that well, you're going to see how the world just opens up to you, because just like what Lucia put in the chat, if you want to receive, you do have to ask. Asking comes first, but we have to learn how to ask for what it is that we want. All right. So I just want to share this message because things are moving fast right now. I know there's so many times that even for me, I get into my own head and I have to go up and I have to ask and I have to just like seek counsel. I have to make sure that I'm doing these things and to be an over communicator. So if this resonated at all, put a me in the comments below. Think about how you can apply this into your business and life today. Now, I promise you, as you lean into this, it might be awkward at first. There will be some crucial conversations sometimes, but you're going to see how this is going to help everything just move so much faster. All right, everyone. And that, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, we have this plus all of our other Warrior Wisdoms on there. Join us back tomorrow. We're going to go over some Warrior Wins. It's going to be a lot of fun on that. Have a great one.